Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Good to see you all again. Hope you're all keeping well and trying to keep busy behind the camera. Well, I've had a few questions recently regarding the cricket image that I've framed and put on the wall, and why, once I'd had to decorate and change the room round, why I chose a cricket image and not a football image, seeing as though I work with football 8-10 months of the year. The plan was always to change that, you know, once a month, once every couple of months, just to keep the wall looking fresh, and obviously a football one's going in there next. So before I do change it, I just thought I'd explain why I chose that image. It was a big story at the time. I've got a load more images loaded on the laptop that goes with that image. Let's have a look now. Right, so this is the newspaper use, the Sunday Times front cover use on the sports section on a Sunday, which is a little bit more special because they're so much bigger on a Sunday. Obviously, Australian cricketer Steve Smith, as it says here, beating the boos. Now, in 2017, both Steve Smith and his teammate David Warner were found guilty of ball tampering. Basically, I think it was Steve Smith or David Warner had sandpaper in their pocket. I'm sure you've heard of the story. It was a biggie. Hence why this is quite a special use for me. So they were banned for 12 months. So for all of 2018 season, unable to play any type of cricket. Rolling forward to last year, 2019, obviously Cricket World Cup was held in the UK, and that coincided with their return. So obviously we knew that there was going to be a number of warm-up games which were due sort of middle of June. So we were all getting prepared for that, obviously. And then word was that the Australian team were down the road from me at the Ageas Bowl, where Hampshire County Cricket is, where they're based. And they were to play behind closed doors the West Indies, just in a really low-key warm-up match. So of course, and we found this out the night before, so it's like, oh heck, we need to get hold of the press officer. Couldn't get hold of anyone. So basically a colleague and I shot down to the Ageas Bowl on the Wednesday morning, I think it was Wednesday morning, armed with our ECB pass and all our kit, went in to try and find someone in the Hampshire club, couldn't find anyone. Went back outside, went back inside, eventually got hold of someone. Can we please photograph this match? Obviously, to get Steve Smith and David Warner in action. First time they'd been in action since their ban, so really important. So anyway, got these images here. So eventually we got given the all clear. Go and help yourself. And there was literally, I think there was 3 photographers there. So it was, it was really exclusive, and we had a good opportunity to get some really good images. So as you can see here, first time Steve Smith's been out. Obviously this is a warm-up session before the behind closed doors cricket session, if you like. And so it was a case of get as much as you can, Obviously David Warner again, all smiles. Now to me, the papers would have wanted images of Warner and Smith together talking. Now obviously the main image to get was either of these two guys with the ball. So whenever they had the ball, snapped away. Obviously it's not a great frame, but any of these images could be put to that story of when they got banned, so it was just a case of keeping around them all day. And obviously here we've got Smith and Warner chatting. Now again, this could be used in all sorts of ways for any sorts of stories, going on their past. So just skimming through these, just chatting away to each other. Again, those two together, really important. Tapping Smith on his shoulder there, just as, another image where they could be whispering, chatting away. And now, obviously, Smith on his knees, that could be a use for a story. If he'd had a bad game or something, Smith returns and has a bad game, so they put him on his knees. That could be a bit of dejection. Again, them two chatting. Now, this was quite interesting. During the game, Warner's picked up the ball and he's obviously drying his hand, which they're allowed to do on the wicket, on the dust, if you like. But again, this could really be a good use for an image of ball tampering, if you like. Although they're allowed to do this, you often see players obviously licking their fingers and shining one side of the ball. That's allowed. But, you know, again, this image would, again, go with that story. So all sorts of stuff like this, then him holding the ball again, you know. And then, as luck would have it, Steve Smith had a bowl. So I thought, oh, I'll get Steve Smith with the ball in a minute. So, and then lo and behold, licked his thumb to wet the ball. So again, another good image. So I'm building a nice set of images now. You know, just catching the ball again, messing the ball about with the ball. And then obviously he's known for being a very good batsman. So it was nice to get a bit of stock imagery of his batting as well, just to add to the list. Now leaping forward to the next, I think 3 days later was an official warm-up game with England at the Ageas Bowl. So again, getting there early, getting lots of frames of Steve Smith and David Warner, you know, pre-match. Now this is quite an interesting image. Obviously that's head coach Ponting talking to David Warner, and it just looks to me like he's saying, "What are you doing with that ball?" You know, again, it's one of them images that you could put several captions to, so thought that was quite a nice image, a bit of a joke image if you like, but I added that. And then of course, with them being, although they're in the news for the wrong reasons, they're still celebrities if you like, so got the fans here taking selfies with them before the game. And then it came to the game and I thought, right, I've got to get loads of images of David Warner in action, crowd behind him, nice proper image, and lo and behold, he slogged it after about 5 minutes and was caught out by Johnny Bairstow. So got no images of David Warner whatsoever, apart from dejection, which again, could work. You know, so shot a bit of dejection, quite like this one, and this one obviously the dejection there, which is quite nice. And then of course, target Steve Smith. So got some I was getting some okay frames of him, but nothing fantastic. And as his innings went on, I stopped there and I thought, I'm just not getting the images. So I took a decision, and this is why this image is quite special to me. I took a decision to move to round square to the wicket, just to try and get a different image, because it just wasn't working. I had an image in my mind and it wasn't working, so I moved around to square of the wicket and was getting some nice frames. And he was coming forwards, you know, he was moving outside of his wicket and blocking the ball and nicking the ball, you know, to the boundary and stuff, and getting some nice images. And then, as you can see here, he's moving forward, so I've got a nice backdrop, and I'm thinking, yes, I'm getting some nice images of him now, and I stayed there for a bit. And then, this is the image that the papers ended up using. Unfortunately, he didn't move out his crease, so I've got that awful purple staircase there, but anyway, they managed to crop round it, as you can see. So, yeah, so these three here, obviously he's right-handed, so he was playing to me whenever he could, you know, playing my way, which was, I was pleased I went square, and ended up getting this image, and I was quite happy with this image, you know, sending it off thinking, great, I've got a nice image of him, ball's in the frame, he's looking where the ball's going, nice image, that could be cropped nicely, and lo and behold, it ends up on the front cover. So that's the story really. If you're in doubt and you're not getting the images you want, have a move. If you can. Obviously cricket's quite relaxed. Between overs you can move where you like. Same with football. Well, some grounds, like at Bournemouth, I can have 10 minutes at the dugout, then I can go and sit in one corner, then I can move to another corner. As long as you're not interrupting anyone or it's okay with the stewards, you can move, and that's what I would say. If you don't feel, like on this day, I didn't feel I was getting the image, you know, I got up and moved. Again, you're lucky with cricket, you can just take your essentials, take your laptop if you need to send something off, and moved around and got this frame. So really happy that I moved. So and that was it. And of course, here's the cutting again, beating the Boos. Now, along with Steve Smith's help, I think he scored over a century. They ended up beating England that day. So hence why it says beating the Boos. Smith blocks out crowds to score as Australia beat England. So and that's that really. So yeah, I was chuffed to bits when I saw that on the Sunday. You know, I knew that I'd sent off a nice frame, and then to see that was great. And I've got a few other uses as well. This one in the Mirror, and then in the Daily Star, and that's from square of the wicket again. If I just go back, that's that one, square of the wicket again. So it really did pay off. 2 uses just by moving, and yeah, I was really chuffed. So yeah, so that's that one, and then it even got used up in Scotland. So in the Scotsman there. So brilliant. And then not long after that, he was out. So I was really pleased that I moved. Another, reason why that's special. I was really pleased that I moved round, because not long after that he was out. So again, bit of dejection now. So that's quite a nice frame with the dejection there. And then I dropped the 70 to 200 and got on the widey and just managed to get these couple of frames of him as he left the field. Again, dejection. It could be used for any number of stories. And so that's it really. But that's the reason behind that. Obviously, a football one's going to go in there next, but just have to pick and choose. The plan was always to change that image every now and again, because I should have had a football one in there really, but this was just, I was going through my papers after I'd decorated, and I thought, oh, I know which image I'll have, because it fits that frame more than anything, so that's the reason behind having a cricket one, because this was a massive story, back in 2017, 2018, them getting banned and ball tampering, and then so happy that I moved and got this frame. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Just a brief insight, well, more than brief, 10 minutes probably, chattering on again, of telling you why that's up. So next time the video's on, hopefully I'll have a football one in there, and perhaps I'll have a story for that next time. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Take care, catch up soon.